If you know exactly what the week before a scan feels like, then this video is for you. The way your mind goes somewhere specific in the days leading up to the appointment, the Googling that you promised you wouldn't do, the physical sensation of dread that settles in your chest, even though the rational part of your brain is just telling you to calm down, the way you find yourself unable to be present with the people that you love because part of you is already in that waiting room. I get it. I absolutely get it. And scanxiety is real. It's not anxiety disorder, it's not weakness. It is a completely understandable response to a genuinely threatening experience. And today I want to talk about what's actually happening in your nervous system when it kicks in and what the research suggests can actually help. I'm Melissa Merchant, certified integrative cancer coach, cancer survivor, and former litigation lawyer, and I've worked with over 600 women worldwide, navigating cancer treatment and recovery, and Scanxiety has affected every single one of them and is the most universal experience that I hear about in this community, regardless of cancer type, regardless of how long it's been since you were diagnosed or how many scans you've had. But here's what most people don't know about scanxiety. It isn't simply worrying too much. It's actually your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do and doing it in a context it was actually never designed to handle. Your nervous system's alarm system, threat detection system is really effective at keeping you safe from immediate physical danger. It evolved to threats that are immediate, concrete, and resolvable through action, like a predator, the saber-toothed tiger, a physical danger, something you can run from or fight. But cancer scan is none of those things. It's a threat that is uncertain, invisible, and completely outside of your control. And that's the problem. You can't fight it or run from it. You can only wait. You can only wait. And your nervous system finding itself in a threat state with no action available cycles. The cortisol rises, you start thinking about it more. Your body is staying in a low level state of physiological alarm that research associates with disrupted sleep, digestive system symptoms, impaired concentration, and a heightened sense of physical symptoms, which for a woman waiting for scan results feeds directly back into the fear. How many of you have had that little weird pain and you think, oh, well, my scan's going to show something nasty? Research on fear of recurrence consistently identifies it as one of the highest unmet psychosocial needs in cancer survivorship and cancer support during treatment. We don't get help with this from our cancer teams, but studies suggest it actually affects between 40 and 70% of cancer patients and survivors to a clinically significant degree. And it often increases rather than decreases over time without support. And when it's worse? It's worse when the treatment stops, you're doing well, you get the all clear, and then your year scan comes out. It's worse. And that's not a character flaw. It's a documented, under-addressed clinical reality. We don't get support for this stuff. And the most common advice for scanxiety is some version of, I don't think about it. Distract yourself, stay busy, think positive. Oh, distraction is a short-term tool, not a strategy. Sure, it interrupts those uncontrolled thoughts temporarily, but it doesn't actually solve the problem. It doesn't change the nervous system state underneath it. And the moment the distraction stops, the fear returns to exactly where it was. Positive thinking has a problem in this context because you're asking the nervous system to override a threat signal without a thought. And the nervous system, which has been honed over millions of years to take threats seriously, is not easily overridden by a thought. What helps is not overriding the nervous system. Bear with me. What helps is actually working with it. So let's talk about what actually helps. There are 4 approaches that research supports as genuinely useful for managing Scanxiety. And the first one is physiological regulation, not relaxation. And there's a really important distinction here. So relaxation is like a top-down approach, the mind trying to tell the body that it's safe. Physiological regulation is a bottom-up approach. It's using the body to send safety signals to the nervous system directly. And the most well-researched of these is controlled breathing, extended exhales. So you inhale through your nose, say for a count of 4, hold for just a moment, and exhale for 6. Your exhale is longer than your inhale. Because breathing in for 4 counts, holding briefly, and breathing out for like 6 to 8 counts does something measurable in the nervous system. It's really cool. It actually reduces your heart rate. It actually lowers cortisol. It doesn't require toxic positivity. It doesn't require belief or optimism. It works through mechanism. A second idea is what I call containment rather than avoidance. Research on worry management actually suggests that pretending it's not happening or attempting to suppress or avoid anxious thoughts actually increases their frequency and intensity over time. So a more effective approach is scheduled containment. I know this sounds juvenile, but set yourself a worry time. Deliberately set aside a specific time to think about the scan, write about it, or talk about it. Outside of that window, when thoughts arise, you note them and you go, yep, cool, gonna worry about that at worry time. And this approach has actually been shown to reduce the total time spent worrying, and it's much more effective than distraction or just pretending it's not. And the third thing is try to be in your body, not in your head. During a period of anxiety, attention narrows to the threat, right? Your mind loops. It thinks about every scenario, every possibility, every interpretation. We got to get out of that loop. We got to get out of that loop. And getting back into direct sensory experience interrupts that uncontrolled loop through a completely different mechanism. So, like, for example, physical movement helps with this. Cold water, cooking, anything that demands you to pay attention to your senses. It's pulling awareness back to the present moment, because you know what worry is, you know what scanxiety is. You're worrying about something in the future that hasn't happened yet. And the fourth idea I have for you is community and being witnessed. There's something specific that happens when a woman talks to another woman who's been through the same experience and doesn't need to have it explained to her. Because that's part of the problem in cancer generally, is that people who haven't had cancer don't get it. They don't get it. And there's isolation. And the isolation of scanxiety is part of what makes it harder. So being in a community of women who understand this isn't about getting advice. It's about the nervous system registering, you know what? I'm not alone in this, because cancer can feel really lonely, really lonely. If you don't already have a community of women who understand what it is like from the inside, I want to invite you to mine. I have a Facebook group called Live Your Best Life During and After Cancer, and it has almost 19,000 women navigating exactly what you're navigating. It's free, it's warm, and I think it's one of the most supportive corners of the internet that I know. The link to join is in the description below. And if you like to talk about what personalized support for where you are right now could look like, book a free Cancer Thriving assessment with me. It's a totally free 60-minute call. We look at the whole picture together, what you're going through, how you're doing physically, how you're doing emotionally. And I give you expert advice on what your first best step should be, what you should be focusing on. And I give you free resources to help you take that step. The link to that is in the description as well. If this was useful, I'd love to see you here. Subscribe. I'm here every week with evidence-informed support for women navigating cancer recovery, the fatigue, the hormone therapy, the nutrition, the nervous system health, and more. And I'll see you in the next one.